Once again here on both drafts as we get loaded and ready once again to head into game number 2. ONIC with a miracle play, able to take game 1 in the series, the best of 5 against APBREN, despite all their efforts in game 1. How will APBREN adjust to even out the series 1-1 here as we get prepped and ready to see the series unfold one step closer to achieving that golden road for ONIC here? Looks like we're going to take a little...
There's a lot going on. Even Mobile Legends can't handle it right now.
They're taking a break here, right? They're going to figure some things out. You can still keep those off track.
Keep them off. All right.
Keep them there for now.
Wait for the right moment.
So the Swan Song, right?
The Swan Song.
Was the song that led them to victory.
Yeah.
In the group stages, right? Was it group stages?
No.
Knockouts 1.
Against Geek, right? Who was it up against?
Man, M5 has been a long journey.
It has been, man. But it was the counter of Joy, an assassin. It's a great pick against these assassins, and now against the Nolan, it's great. But then you take into account the Novaria, that he's going to be matching up in lane, right? That's a lot of range advantage for the Novaria, maybe even clear advantage in the early stage.
Definitely a lot of range for the Novaria, but still, I'm not too worried about Few on this Odette. Like, I think overall, I'm like kind of sold on the Odette. I don't know a point where I feel like it's just...
After one game, you're sold?
Just the idea behind it. You have the dash, you pair it up with a flicker, and then once again, it gives you the coverage that you want from that type of mage, right? That zoning, that arrow, that AoE, someone that can attack a wide zone of area, but it's not as easily targetable when it's in its alt state. Comparative to the Farza, you are a sitting duck when you're Farza, you are a sitting duck when you're Eve, and that's why those two picks have not been getting picked up, because EXP lanes are back, baby. They are divers, they are aggressors. Then you also have so many roamers, you have so many junglers that are just highly aggressive, and those are just prime targets, whereas the Odette, in the alt state, it's not. The only thing the Odette lacks, really, is laning phase. Doesn't have as much mobility as some of those other types of mages. So as long as Few can get to a safe spot where the rest of the team can group up, it is definitely going to be dangerous.
Yeah, and I like this, as you talk about this, exactly the Odette, but the lineup rating right for them is pretty high. It's nearly 9 against ONIC here with that. And, you look at the course of the game, how things can fall into place. That's where they play around the Odette pick, just like they did the previous time that they picked it up, earlier in their earlier matches. So again, there you go. We'll see how it happens. We get the signal. We're going to be jumping into the Land of Dawn. Game 2 ahead of us. ONIC versus APBREN. It's 1-0 for ONIC right now. You can already see the pressure from Keyboy.
Doing some damage. Oh, a flicker as well. Burnt out by Keyboy here. But I do want to talk a little bit more about this Odette. In the matchup that we saw previously when Few picked this up, the Odette was also picked up against the carry. So now it's an assassin and a carry, right? Two very, very vulnerable targets for the Odette to catch.
Yeah, definitely very vulnerable. Carry has to try to move in, right? So it's definitely not going to be Carry's job to deal with Few. Taking a look at the emblems, nothing too out of the ordinary. Boots going for the same exact setup as last time. CW does pick up a nice defensive emblem there. Make sure that if Carry needs to, it can kind of survive a little bit of a gank there. Taking a look at these items, CW as well doesn't go for the boots, whereas Super Marco does. Super Marco also going to pick up, going to go straight into possibly the defensive boots there. So a slightly different route than normal.
Okay, speaking of, they already get the flicker out from Few, right? Putting the pressure there. Sans takes a shot, Ogren's going to block it, but you see how this time around, because Kyrie has this type of lineup to work around this Nolan pick, it allows him to farm up pretty confidently. He is a little bit ahead of Kyle Tizia as well right now, right? So Turtle's going to be up here in just a couple seconds. They'll both get in position. A lot of these still trying to get that level 4. The ultimate's available. That's why they're parking themselves in the XP lane. Both junglers lead into the Turtle.
Clear up top a bit faster for ONIC. Caltesi looking for the setup as well, but Keyboy just pops in at Power of Nature. And a wild charge, and Keyboy gets the turtle as well.
Wow!
Game number 1, it was 2 kills and a turtle over to APBREN. Game number 2 starts off with ONIC doing the same thing.
That is a big switch up from what we saw last time. This time ONIC bringing the aggression. You can tell their morale is up. I mean, after winning a game like the last one, you gotta feel good about themselves. ONIC definitely in their zone right now. APBREN need to try to kind of get things back into the groove. It's not too huge of a loss, but it is already 2K in the first 3 minutes.
The thing about it too, Super Marco is going to have the pressure here, but you know, when you're talking about the mid lane picks and you're talking especially about Sans here, the Novaria, his track record on this Novaria is insane. His success rate is very good, but not only that, the fact that the way that he plays it to the point where, yes, you're topping the damage meter, you're topping, you know, you're farming up really, really well here, but also the vision that's usually on point allows this.
Wild charge flicker combo into the fracture. Kyrie gets rid of Vision.
Wow.
That's another combo together. Ogwen wall down, but ONIC, they'll take this win. 4-0 Sans, canceling out the recall. Keyboy looking for an angle once again to maybe cancel another recall, but Ogwen just stays behind that turret. We'll try to facilitate Flapteezy's way back to clear this wave.
Take a look at the junglers right now. Kyrie with a 1,300 gold lead already. He's got the Hunter strike in. Whereas when we take a look at Kyle Teasy, he's got practically nothing on his side.
That's a wall down. So Marco gonna be caught, pitched down right now with a lot of damage coming through. Kyrie will be able to give CW the kill down below. The entire turret shield as well into an Astral Sphere and an Astral Echo, revealing Ogwen and Fuse, zoning them away for CW once again to farm up and shove the wave back to the turret.
And putting the pressure once again. Sans is just on point so far. Even with the lead that he's garnered himself, right? 2-0-3 on the Novaria allows him to continue to do this. Just kind of siege from, you know, the safety, from distance. That's why the Novaria is so great. But as I was saying before that fight even broke out, you know, the ability to provide vision allows even Kyrie to rotate a lot more confidently. And even Keyboy, the fact that he picked up this Croc, at this point, he's just walking vision, right? He's one of those vision getters.
He's a getter vision.
He's a getter of the vision.
And another great thing about Keyboy, why he can do this so well is when he pops that first kill, he's immune to the CC, right? So he can go into the enemy jungle without fear of the magic jump, without fear of getting knocked up. And as long as he has Sans sitting in the back lane behind him, he knows he's good. I mean,
take the long way.
Disgusting.
He's making Flapteezy walk to his base.
You don't get the recall. You have to walk. That's what Keyboy does. So with that, again, this is very different from the previous game, right? You're talking about now, the 5 minutes in, almost 5,000 gold ahead, and you can see just how strong they are in the lanes, right? Super Marco doing a relatively, trying to keep up as much as he can, but still the pressure being put through every single lane right now as they go on.
All right, so 5K gold lead for ONIC right now. APBREN cannot find an opening. I think they know, all right, let's take this slow. We're pretty much going to try to pull an ONIC this game. But ONIC has a composition that scales so well into the late game with CW, with Sans, with the amount of vision they can have overall. Taking a look at the item CW, he's got the Scythe in. He's got the Golden Wand in. He's 2/3 of the way to the Holy Trinity, and it's going to be trouble once he locks that in because the rest of his team is,
Major Migration, Val Requiem, and the Swan Song onto Keyboy.
Wow.
Final slash as well, but Keyboy gets out with a wild charge. That was Kyrie. Into the back of Fracture, not getting him just yet. Minute Fury, Flicker, combo, boots with the penalty zone. Distracting the back line, open, barely dodging away from that last hit, but CW's rotating over already now. Immobilized under the turret, boot taken low right now. Vengeance comes down with the Astral Echo with a few more hits. CW finds the kill under the tier 1 of APBREN.
ONIC Esports goes from getting caught off guard to completely responding, finding a kill, and almost a tower for themselves.
Oh, Keyboy.
Are we going to be able to make it another one?
That's a knock-up, but Keyboy's still chasing. He's chasing.
He's hungry.
Few gets the dash. Super Marco gets Few out, but all that, while that was happening, ONIC took, what? Keyboy with a wall onto Few.
You cannot recall right now if you're APBREN because there's a gator hunting you down.
Final slash in the Battle of Requiem, but Keyboy just charges wildly back.
He's not even stressed about it. Keyboy's like, it's okay, you can knock me up for a second, I'm good. I just wild charge away. No problems.
And now, ONIC are at their average.
This is the average, right? But now it's only 7 minutes in. It's kind of crazy to think about what that gold average is that they have leading into M5, now the 8.4K ahead. And it's flipped around. It's weird, right? You're 7-0.
Is this what these games are going to be, essentially? We're just going to go back and forth, each team starting the game off with a 10K gold lead.
And then one moment changes everything.
Is that the possibility here?
That is a possibility.
It's one moment.
It's one moment.
If you had.
Shout out.
Moment.
Shout out
One
to Yasu.
shot.
All right, taking a look at the items once again. Phew, just getting that first item in. This is a problem, right?
This is.
We saw the same thing from APBREN last time, but I would argue that APBREN has a slightly worse composition to try to pull off what ONIC did last time. And APBREN didn't have the scaling capabilities that ONIC has this time. CW is just getting involved into these team fights. It's only been a few minutes, and now that they're grouped up, now that they're ready to push in, it's going to present more and more of a problem.
Yeah, it's crazy when you think about it too, right? The fact that we talked so much about this Odette pick, but unfortunately for the game, it's really just been stopped, right? You really haven't been able to see the Swan Song do anything just yet.
Oh.
You see APBREN dealing with the siege from a distance, and once again, why that Novaria pick was so great. It was so crucial for the game plan here for ONIC as they approach this game. Even with that, right, you need, you know, when we looked at the comparison, as this Lord is just going to be taken uncontested for ONIC, when you looked at the comparison, right, the lineup power was in favor of APBREN.
Yep.
But they have not been able to execute the lineup that they've drafted. Again, looking at Novaria here, this is why teams love this hero, and they pick it up, not only for the vision, but the insane damage early on from safety, essentially.
Yeah, and the vision just supplies so much. I mean, especially when you have a lead overall, that is when you can really just start to get the noose around the neck, right? That is when you can really just start to keep APBREN exactly where you want them at all times. ONIC really starting to close in now.
Wow.
Gonna try to take this tier 2, and APBREN can do nothing about it.
Rose Gold Meteor built up for CW as well, so if the Swan Song does get utilized into the back, get CW, he'll still be able to survive it. 3-man Astral Echo as the Lord marches down bottom lane. This time the first Lord looking for one base turret. Final Smash Flicker combo. Not going to be able to connect right now. CW free hits. Keyboy in the back. This might be the zone into the wild charge. Keyboy taking low. Swan Song and the Midas Fury. Boots caught in enemy territory. 1v4, but Lord was able to deal with the base turret. Now Super Marco's chasing Boots, but Boots is unkillable. He just walks out of there.
The body of Smith. The BOS.
The body of Boots.
The body of
Bob.
Boots. The Bob. That's what worked there. The
So
Bob.
I have to say, still almost worth it, honestly, for ONIC. At this point, when you're that far ahead, you can toss a body under the tower as long as you get the tower. ONIC, if they want to try to close this out quick, they have to make sure those towers go down. Kyrie just stole the orange buff?
Yes, he did.
Looks like it. He's having a much better game this time around. Kyle Teasy, on the flip side, struggling this time, right? Even with the same pick, but really it's that lineup. It's the lineup difference here for ONIC this time around, and now they're the ones, right? With the 13,000 gold lead. So really, if you're trying to think about it as they get ready, is ONIC the team to just go ahead, slowly kind of whittle down the defensive of APBREN here until that next Lord? And at the same time, they still have the tools to actually force a fight, even if it's just Sans. Given the vision, poking them down like that.
Oh my God. He
Close
gets out very, very close. Are you telling me ONIC want to go for the siege
do?
without a Lord? That they do in the mid lane. Baser are going to be taken down. Boots, penalty zone, locking him down. Wild charge, Keyboy flickering back. CW melted Ogwen.
Oh.
And now it's tied with a fracture of Midas Fury. Even onto the blazing new evidence. A double kill for Kyrie, and Super Marco is forced back. Flapteezy falls. Game number 1, they ended it in 23 minutes. Game number 2, they're looking for the end in the 11th minute. No mini waves, they have to back up. Super Marco defending with 1 H1 member. 11-1, what the heck?
Another what the heck moment for ONIC. A drastic difference from game 1, calm and collected.
Wow.
They ended quickly, 2-0 in the series.
The stadium is filling up by the minute. More and more people are flooding in to watch this series. ONIC wins game 1 in 22. They cut that in half for game number 2. 11 minutes. They did not pull what APBREN folded last game.
11 kills, 11 minutes, 1 kill. APBREN. There's a lot of ones.
There's a whole lot of ones. This time around, we're going to have this broken down further with our analysts. Guys, take it away.